with the Macedonians were considering themselves as Greeks. So that's the problem, issue of the ancient times, why the Macedonian people accepted the Greek language as an official since the times of Alexander the First, actually. And that is rather clearly denoted by the later historical sources talking about Alexander the Great. He, for example, had a judging process against one of his generals. His general was accused about conspiracy against Alexander, and he offered at the judging process, during the judging process, he offered this general to use his native, his father's language if he wanted, if he felt that he would express himself easier, better. But what he answered, what did he answer? He says, you are now offering to use my native, our native language, but you and your grandfathers are to blame that you brought this new official language of the state. We have to learn this language, and because not all the people here are Macedonians, I will use the official language, the Greek language. So it is known that the Macedonian language existed, and probably by the remains of the onomastic material, we have names of towns, rivers, mountains, etc. In Macedonia, we could relate this language with the Phrygian. Still, the Phrygians are the most confirmed ethnic community, linguistical community of this area in the past. So those are the Macedonians, but since we defined the origin of the Macedonian royalty, we must deal with the Hellenization process, which starts in the 5th century BC and goes further in the history until the end of the classical times. Through all out the history of this area, much more dominant language used, official language used by the Macedonians is remaining the Greek, not the Latin. That's why I emphasize that the town is not Roman, because you will see by yourself the inscriptions are speaking opposite, confirming that the Macedonians were here much more than the Latin people. Of 116 inscriptions altogether, 116 inscriptions are discovered here, stone inscriptions. Only 16 are Latin, while the rest are ancient Greek. Koine, actually. Koine is the standardized Greek language during the times of Alexander the Great.